The Dallas Stars just announced that they will be wearing their alternate jerseys during the playoffs this year. And this isn't a new concept. We have seen teams before wearing their alternate jerseys in the playoffs, and seldom does it lead to a Stanley Cup. But when you have a jersey that is as nice as those 99 jerseys are for Dallas, why would you not want to wear them more? So, how this video is going to work, we are going to go through the teams that are currently in a playoff spot. And if they have an alternate jersey, we're going to see if they should be wearing them in the playoffs this year. So let's start with the Eastern Conference, and in the Atlantic Division, let's start off by talking about the Tampa Bay Lightning. Now, Tampa usually comes up in conversations when I talk about teams needing a rebrand because Tampa is pretty much near the top of everyone's list. And I think Tampa should wear their black alternates in the Stanley Cup playoffs this year. I think they absolutely should. Now, we do have the beauty of not having a possible Tampa versus Toronto match in the playoffs this year, and considering just how similar those jerseys really are, I think we can all kind of agree that it's time that Tampa should go all black in the playoffs. I think those jerseys on their own, like, they're nice, but I think it would be really cool for them to wear those black alternates in the playoffs. And given that they haven't had a ton of success recently in the playoffs, maybe trying to switch something up, maybe they go with their alternate jerseys, and I think they should. You've got the Buffalo Sabres, who have one of the nicest alternate jerseys in the world, but I ultimately think that they should just stick with their traditional home and away jerseys. As cool as it would be to have Buffalo wearing their alternates in the playoffs, because again, the jerseys are gorgeous. Some of the nicest alternate jerseys in the league. However, with Buffalo being in the playoffs for the first time in 14 years, I think actually giving these jerseys a proper run in the playoffs, I think is actually the right call here. Now, don't get me wrong, it would be really cool to see the goat head jerseys in the playoffs and kind of giving a little bit of a 2006 vibe. Obviously, those teams were very, very special to the city of Buffalo, but for Buffalo being in this position finally after so many years, giving the new generation of Buffalo Sabres their time to shine, I think is the right choice here. So, as beautiful as those goat head jerseys are for Buffalo, I think they should just stick with their traditional home and away jerseys. Moving on to the Metro Division, where the only team that has clinched so far is the Carolina Hurricanes, and I don't think that they're going to be wearing their alternate jerseys in the playoffs, nor do I think they should. I think what they usually do, wearing their black jerseys at home in the playoffs, I think is the right call. They're not my favorite jerseys. I wish they would go to something a little more different, but I'm okay with it at the end of the day. I think it's the right call. I still think that they look good as well. So, obviously, Carolina traditionally wears their black jerseys at home in the playoffs, so I don't think that that needs to change at all. And if my memory is serving me correct, the only year that they didn't was when they wore their anniversary jerseys that were modeled after the 2006 jerseys. Pittsburgh is the first team in this video that has not currently clinched a playoff spot. They are very, very close, though, and God, I hope they do. And I want them to go very, very far, obviously. I'm a Penguins fan. So, and with Pittsburgh having their new alternate jersey this year, that jersey has grown on me, but I think Pittsburgh should stick with their traditional home and away jerseys. You can call me biased, you can call me whatever you want. I think Pittsburgh has some of the nicest jerseys in the league, and I don't think that there's really a need to have the gold jerseys come back full time in the playoffs. I think the home and away works just fine here. Moving on to the Eastern Conference wildcard picture, where obviously you have Boston at one, who doesn't have an alternate this year. But then you have the Ottawa Senators, as well as a plethora of other teams still fighting for that second spot. And if Ottawa does hold and they do clinch a playoff spot, should they wear their alternate jerseys in the playoffs this year? I'm going to end up going with no. I really, really like what they did with their rebrand, going back to kind of the traditional Senators look. I love the black jerseys at home, the black, the red, not a lot of white on there either. I think those look super, super nice. And I think they just fit a playoff vibe so well. Their alternate jersey is nice. It has kind of grown on me as the year has gone along, but I think sticking with the Blacks in the playoffs is the way to go if Ottawa is, in fact, the ones who get that second and last spot. Moving over to the West, let's go with the Central Division first, where you have the Colorado Avalanche in first place. And should Colorado wear their alternate jerseys in the playoffs? I think that this is actually one that is very, very compelling because those alternate jerseys are a thing of beauty. And honestly, I wouldn't mind seeing those alternate jerseys in the playoffs. I think that they are some of the best alternate jerseys in the league. It's one that I personally own in my collection. So I'm going to go with yes here. I think Colorado should rock their alternate jerseys in the playoffs this year. Moving on to number two, which is obviously currently being held by the Dallas Stars, and we've already talked about them wearing their alternate jerseys. That's the whole reason why we're making this video. So moving on to number three, where we have the Minnesota Wild, and you have a really interesting decision here. Dallas and Minnesota will be playing each other in the first round, and if Minnesota really wanted to change things up, I think they would look absolutely fantastic in those alternate jerseys at home this year. Obviously, I'm talking about the North Stars inspired one. I would actually love if they wore their 25th anniversary jerseys on the road this year. I don't think they're going to do that, but at the very least, I would love to see those North Stars inspired jerseys at home, especially with a team like Dallas. I think you would have some very interesting jersey matchups there, and obviously, you're not going to have the alternate jerseys going up against each other, but again, I think it'd be fun, and I think it would add a little bit to what that rivalry has become over the years. Moving on to the Pacific Division, where we have the Edmonton Oilers at number one, and no, Edmonton should stick with what they usually wear in the playoffs in the regular season. Their new alternate jerseys, not necessarily for me. I don't absolutely despise them, just not my favorite. And obviously, with Edmonton's success in the playoffs in recent years, there's really no need to really change them at all either. Number two in the Pacific Division right now is the Vegas Golden Knights, and I would actually like to see them use their alternate jersey. Now, their alternate jersey is just their original home jersey, and I actually like that jersey a little bit more than what they currently use at home, which is the all gold jersey that used to be their alternate. I don't think they're going to do it, obviously, because they have had success in those gold jerseys. Obviously, that was the jerseys that they wore when they won the Stanley Cup back in 2023. So there's no need to really change them, I guess, but just personal preference, I would like to see the original Vegas Golden Knights jersey return. And that takes us to the wild card spots where both Utah and Nashville currently hold both spots, and both currently don't have an alternate jersey, so there's really not a whole lot to talk about there. So this is where I want to hear from you guys. Let me know down below in the comments if there is a team that is currently in the playoffs or in a playoff spot at the very least, and they have an alternate jersey. Let me know if you think they should wear those alternate jerseys at home in the playoffs. Obviously, it doesn't work for everybody, and obviously, I'm not saying that every team that has an alternate jersey needs to wear them in the playoffs, but I think that it opens up the possibility for some kind of interesting jersey matchups, maybe. And obviously, let me know what you think about my suggestions down below in the comment section as well. So, of course, leave all of your thoughts and opinions down below in the comment section. And while you're down there, swing by the description and click the Linktree link. That is the only link in the description for a reason. That is because it'll take you to all of the social media platforms for this channel. Currently, right now, we are only on Instagram and X, and I will say the Instagram page does get a little more tender love and care because that is how this entire page started in the first place. But if you do enjoy these videos and you're looking for some extra content, again, Linktree link in the description, it'll take you to wherever you want to go. So with all that said and done, that is going to do it for this video here. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy it, hit the like button. If you really enjoyed it, hit the subscribe button. Again, both are free. Both really help out the channel a lot. And of course, if you have made it to this point of the video, I want to say thank you very, very much for taking the time out of your busy day to watch these videos here because it genuinely does mean the world to me. And as always, stay tuned for more Jersey and hockey content coming in the future. We'll see you next time.